Welcome to Channel X TV. Delighted to be joined today by Ed Hamilton, who is Head of Growth at Seep. So welcome, Ed. How are you?
Yeah, very well, thanks, Chris. Good to meet you.
So uh, for those that don't know Seep, can you just tell us a little bit about the company and what you guys do? And then I've got something rather amusing because when we set up this interview, I kind of didn't know who Seep was until I recognised the colours and went through my cupboard and I actually found some Seep rubber gloves in my cupboard. So I'm actually a customer without actually realising that I'd purchased from you. But tell us, what does Seep do?
So Seep are a plastic-free cleaning essentials brand. So we make everything from sponges, cloths, rubber gloves, anything in the home that you would typically clean with, the cleaning tools around your home. Most importantly, they are completely plastic-free. They are designed to be compostable at the end of life, or if they can't be composted, then they are sort of endlessly recyclable. So everything about what we do came from our founder, Laura, and she had a light bulb moment in a local supermarket, actually, where she saw that there was eco cleaning sprays, detergents, toilet rolls. Everything had sort of become more sustainable versus its former products. And she felt that the accessories and the cleaning tools in that range were absolutely the opposite of that. They were full of plastic. They were bad for the environment. They were bad for us as humans as well. So she took a lot of her retail experience to figure out how she can realistically launch a product in market that can try and disrupt a pretty archaic category, and that's exactly what she did. And 4 or 5 years later, we have grown quite substantially and feel really great about our mission, which is to wipe away microplastics from 10 million homes with our products by 2030.
Well, I'm a huge fan. I know why I had the Seep rubber gloves, and it's because I was searching for some eco-friendly gloves. It really distresses me the amount of rubbish I put in my bin. I buy some apples, they're in a plastic bag. I buy a cabbage, it's in a plastic bag. I buy a cleaning product, it's in a plastic bottle or a plastic spray or something. So I'm a huge fan. But tell us a little bit more about the company, because it's one thing for Laura to have been in a supermarket and realised that everything's full of plastic. But how did she identify the gap in the market and realise that actually you can build a business here, a sustainable business, in more than one way? Sustainable as in the products, but also sustainable as in revenue generating and profitable.
Yeah, of course. I mean, firstly, she told me the story, which is a really interesting story, actually, around going home to figure out, is there a gap? And she quickly realized that there truly was, that every single cleaning tool that was used in the home, even things that people don't even realize, like microfiber cloths, they are full of plastic. So whether it's your cloths, whether it's your sponges, every sort of time you're cleaning a pan, cleaning a plate, you're washing up, you're cleaning your bathroom, you're essentially sort of gradually scrubbing away bits of plastic into your home, which gets into your food, it gets into your dishes, and then essentially into your body. So
I've got to admit, whenever I'm doing the dishes, I'm always looking at my dish scourer and thinking, the bristles on this, I'm sure they were longer when I got it, and that plastic's got to be going somewhere.
exactly, and so she figured out that there could genuinely be a gap in the market, but how does she go and find a product that essentially completely disrupts that market and is made from plastic-free materials that can compost, that can be recyclable? Like, everything came with a focus on how can we do better for the planet. And actually, I think the learning around microplastics and the harm of those on people came slightly later down the line. But she figured out that there were materials in market that could do it. Loofah is the particular material that is on our sponges, which is our best-selling product, and that is particularly wearable, that you can wash your pans, you can scrub just as you would with the tools that you've used for many years. So yeah, she figured out that there was a product that was possible, and she went about creating and launching that product. And fundamentally, I think that the other part to it is that, people don't want to necessarily pay more for plastic-free, sustainable tools, and that's that's quite critical to someone's buying journey now. We're so far down the line of sustainability doesn't have to cost more. And our products do cost more than the sort of plastic green and yellow sponges that you see in everyone's home, but actually they last 2, 3, 4 times longer than those sponges and those other cleaning tools that people have. So yes, there's maybe a slightly more expense at the initial purchase, but we've got 10, 20,000 reviews now that say that they last far, far longer than the average product. So
and I've got to say, to be honest, even if they were full of plastic, but if they last longer, that's got to be better for the environment, to be using less. And it means fewer deliveries as well, fewer shopping trips. Everything gets better if something lasts longer. And if it's not got plastic in as a bonus, that's music to my ears. You're talking my language now.
Exactly. And I think that was quite a light bulb moment for her, that, you know, these things are made from materials that are not harmful to the planet, that can be composted naturally. Like, that is quite an incredible feat, and it's still a better product than what's out there and lasts longer than the product that's out there. So putting all those things together and doing it at a price that works for the customer has been part critical to our growth, really. And I guess the second part to that is, where does she launch? And we looked at, you know, multiple sales channels and retailers and things, and most people buy their sponges in their local supermarket, but she wanted to go against that, and Amazon's obviously been a massive part of that growth along the way.
And as a head of growth, that's something I wanted to ask you about, is how important has leveraging Amazon been? And also, any tips for other retailers on approaching Amazon and launching products and growing sales on Amazon?
I mean, firstly, it's been the catalyst for growth for us, really. It's allowed us to be more visible. It's allowed us to have greater brand awareness. I think the rise of Amazon being the go-to buying environment for people meant that we had to be in the place where people were buying their products from, and particularly cleaning products. It's had a huge rise in the past 5 to 10 years on Amazon. So we had to be there, and we had to be front and center of people's buying journey. So it's been a sort of critical part of helping the brand be visible and grow and drive awareness of us as a brand, because without that we might not have the awareness that we have. And I think critically, it's been relatively stress-free versus most sales channels. Like, we obviously have to go to relative effort to set up your Amazon store, and I think it's wise to go quite hard on making it the best storefront you could possibly imagine, and then not sort of skip the steps along the way. But once that's up and running, you know, the conversion rate is off the charts versus most other channels that we have, and it's been relatively low level resource for us. And yeah, it's been a game changer to our growth, frankly.
Now, something else that happened, and those that know me will know I'm a huge fan of Dragon's Den, and I believe Laura may have been on Dragon's Den at one stage. Can you tell us a bit about that experience, and also the impact for the company from appearing on the show?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think Laura would say it was a exceptionally stressful time, trying to prepare.
I'd be terrified appearing in front of Deborah Mead and Mia Jones and the rest of that crowd.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously the filming moment in time that happened probably about 1.5 years ago now, and the episode aired. It will be a year next week. So 1 year ago now, we were featured on Dragon's Den, and yeah, it was pivotal to, well, firstly, getting in front of 5 million people who watch the program, and people who are wanting to learn and discover new brands. So you've got quite a high intent audience there. But it allowed us, you know, customers to take us seriously. It allowed us to get amazing PR value because Laura was successful, and we got investment from Deborah Meaden and Trinny Woodall. So it just allowed us to sort of be suddenly this brand that people could trust and get behind because of that. So it catapulted us to have, you know, record sales weeks and months, and it really grew us hugely last year for 2025. That I think the main thing was being able to say that we'd got investment on Dragon's Den and being able to sort of PR that and advertise that.
Deborah Meaden, everyone knows her as the dragon for everything sustainable, and obviously Trini, bless her, as a guest dragon on the show. You couldn't get two better investors for the company, I don't think, that really sort of emphasised the value, an ethos of Seep, to have those two behind you.
Exactly, and it's taken us from strength to strength. They've been fantastic for us actually, and been very fair with their time and given us a lot of time to help promote us further, which has been great. So yeah, I think this time last year was scary, but it certainly has catapulted us to new heights, which is amazing.
I mean, I remember meeting Deborah Meaden at a conference once, and it just really stood out to me because someone offered her a cup of coffee and she immediately dived into a handbag and got her own cup out of her handbag for the coffee, because she just refused to use sort of a disposable cup. And for her to invest in Seep, it really is a huge stamp of approval for what you guys have been doing. And I think your rewards are pretty serious as well, because I understand you're doing something like 100K a month on Amazon after the show.
Yeah, that's correct. It sort of took off after the show, and Q4 just gone was our best by far. Like every week was a new record week, and that's continued into January 2026 as well. So in 2025 we grew over 100% on Amazon alone, which was incredible. So far in January 2026, we're over 200% growth year on year. So yeah, it really has been a amazing growth story for us, particularly on Amazon, and hopefully we can continue that run rate for the rest of this year.
Yeah. So a couple of messages for me, for those that are watching this. First of all, everyone's got a house somewhere they live. If you're looking for sustainable cleaning products, then obviously go to Seep. We'll put the website link beneath. But I think it's also important to remember that most of the people watching this are actually business owners, are running a business. You've got work kitchens, you've got work toilets. Go to Seep and get some sustainable products, especially if you yourself are a sustainable business or have got aspirations to be. Go shopping at Seep. But more importantly,
excellent PR for us there, Chris. Thank you.
I think more importantly, though, Ed, the lesson of the people watching this will really want to know is, what can other disruptive startups learn from yours and Laura's experience at Seep? What do you wish you'd known earlier? What did you accidentally get right? Maybe what did you get wrong? Mistakes other people can avoid. How can other people catapult themselves to this level as well?
I think the biggest point that we've learned from Amazon is it's a very high intent audience, which is great because your conversion rate as a result is exceptionally high versus most other sales channels. And we've learned that that's because of the sort of brand building that we've done outside of Amazon, and to invest in growing the brand and being visible and essentially trying to market ourselves as much as we can. That seems to have driven a really high intent audience for us. So for example, around 60% of our Amazon impressions come from brand search terms. So people are searching Seep the brand because they've heard about us elsewhere. We've got some amazing data as well to showcase that our meta ad spend has actually driven a really close correlation with Amazon revenue as well. So I think sometimes people see and set up their Amazon store to be this sort of siloed environment that is separate from everything else that they do, and actually we believe that's completely not the case. Like it 100%, your marketing has impact on Amazon sales. So think about it in that way, and don't see it as this only a small percentage of people are going there. For example, on Dragon's Den, immediately after that, we had our best day ever of sales on Amazon because people want to shop there. It's a comfortable environment for them to shop. So I think people need to sort of not see it as this, a secondary channel, and actually it should be front and center because there's already such a huge audience on Amazon buying there. And I think some other quick tips would be around sort of pricing strategy and treating Amazon customers uniquely. Like what are, as an Amazon customer, what are you getting that you can't get buying Seep in another place? Thinking about pricing strategy, and for example, ours was subscribe and save. We allowed customers to have the subscription function on Amazon that you can't get anywhere else, and that allowed 20% of sales to come via subscriptions on Amazon. So thinking about trying to treat people like they're getting something extra, and therefore that's why you should shop on Amazon, I think is pretty critical as well.
Yeah, and that's really interesting to talk about subscribe and save, because many people, when they're selling on Amazon, they just say, oh, I've just got to be the cheapest price and that'll do on Amazon. But looking at adding that value with the subscribe and save and other programs, really, really valuable. So Ed, as head of growth at Seep, what are your plans for 2026? What's next for the business?
Well, really, we want to obviously continue growing. That's number one. We want to try to be a profitable business as soon as we can, and therefore that comes from sort of doubling our sales. It comes from doubling our margin, and it comes from doubling our brand fame, if you like. That's our sort of three main objectives for the year, and we feel that if we succeed on those three, we should be in a really great position as a business, and hopefully sort of finally having an impact on our mission. And really getting the name of the brand out there to the masses, and being a mass market brand rather than being a smaller challenger brand. Hopefully we can remove that sort of challenger word from our name. And
no, it's gone. It's gone. You've been on Dragon's Den. You're doing 100k on Amazon. 20% of your sales are subscribe and save. So you've got regular customers coming back month in, month out. I think the challenger is well and truly on its way out for Seep.
Exactly. Hopefully that's the case. And I think for Amazon specifically, there is a lot of competition on there, and we want to be more competitive. We are still losing, as much as we're doing fantastically, we're still losing a lot of sales to competitors, and we want to be more competitive there. We want to be more aggressive with trying to defend ourselves, and because we believe we have the best product in the market. So hopefully by selling more, it allows us to be a bit more bold with our marketing strategy within the Amazon sort of storefront as well.
Fascinating, Ed. I want to thank you so much for your time today. For anyone that wants to find out more, just look beneath this video for Ed's LinkedIn profile and the Seep company website. And I'll also drop a link in for Amazon. So anyone that wants to shop on Amazon will make it easy for you as well. But Ed, thank you so much for your time today.
It's been lovely chatting to you, Chris. Thanks a lot.